It is almost time to finally play Trickcal Chibi Go in global, so I want to start making some guides for you, some videos, so you guys can have some extra resources before the game goes live, and you can see how some of the systems work already. Today's video isn't going to be a guide, but it's going to be a before you play Trickcal to see what you can expect from this game, in terms of gameplay, in terms of competitive game modes, in terms of collecting characters as a free-to-play or a spender, etc. And once again, the guides will be done this week, but if you don't want to wait, most of the guides are already on the website. If you go there, tier list, character pages, different types of guides explaining multiple systems. Important for the tier list is useless, okay? This is based on the Korean server. We are getting a lot of different things for global. One of them being that characters now have a passive skill. In the Korean server, characters do not have passive skills. Now we have for global, meaning that the tier list most likely will change a lot. As a reference, most of the pilgrims or light and dark characters, whatever you want to call them in this game, they are called Eldains. Those characters, like for example, Joan, will be stronger than anything else. Those characters will always be on top of the meta, and then the rest of the girls will be following close or just being underwhelming, depending on which one. Something really cool that this game has, that is a nice system in my opinion. As you can see, there are some characters that have a heart on the top left, like it's Raika, like it's Opal, etc. What this does, which is pretty nice, is give you increased stats for your character, 8% in this case for a 3-star, 10% for a 2-star, and 15% for 1-star characters. Meaning if you have a character you like but is kind of underwhelming, you can use this system of favorite units to give them increased stats so their output is a little bit better, which is pretty nice in my opinion because it allows you to use any character that you like. That said though, let's move into the important stuff for this video, which is going to be the gameplay, competitive game mode, and what you can expect from this game. Before we start, also as usual, hello the universe, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and let's jump directly with the gameplay first and what you can expect from this. A lot of people do not like Chibi Auto Battlers in 2025, and you know what this game is. Chibi Auto Battler in 2025. You will be able to bring 6 characters in most stages, and you're gonna be getting bonifications based on the color, which is personality in this game, and on the race of the characters. So elves, witches, dragons, etc. All of them have different bonuses depending how many characters of that same element and race you use. For the most part, the meta revolves around at least 4 characters of the same element, and we'll see how this works in global because the race passives are something new. It doesn't exist in Korea, so it's only for us. You pick 6 characters, you can go into battle, and this is kind of an auto battler with some TFT elements, I will say. I'm gonna put manual play just to explain a little bit how it works. At the start of the battle, you get 3 random items. It can be characters, it can be coins. The coins are used bottom left, and it impacts how many upgrades you can buy. And just like TFT, you can get a character that's 1-star, or you can merge them together and get a 2-star character, a 3-star character, etc. Characters can only use their ultimate when they have 4 stars. It's really important as well. And then outside the characters, there are 2 different types of upgrades you can get: cards and artifacts. Cards will be applied to only one character. As you can see, this one specifically is magic attack and then crit. You can put this on any character. The game tells you what characters will be good for this because the girl in the middle, it's a physical damage dealer, so it's used for her. So the game will tell you, hey, you need to put this on run or it's recommended for her. And then there is also artifacts that will apply to everyone on the battlefield, right? They are not only buffs, they can change your card, they can change what you are getting, etc. As you can see, there is also a timer on top left that I just wasted, so I'm gonna get fucked. But after you use all your coins, you go into battle, and usually there is 5 rounds you need to beat in order to clear the stage. That's it. That's the gameplay. The only times gameplay is going to be different. It's for raids, which is one of the competitive game modes, and it's PvP. On PvP, you cannot upgrade, you cannot get cards. It's just 6 versus 6, and there is no upgrades or anything. Pretty simple on PvP. So that's for the gameplay itself. Okay, I think it's important to show gameplay so people can see what they can expect from a game like this. Let's talk a little bit about what you can expect as a free-to-play versus a spender when it comes to collecting and the game itself. Trickcal, it's purely or mostly a collector. It's more about the story, more about the memes, more about the characters and their lore, rather than being a competitive game that you will take too seriously. There are a few systems that can kind of fuck up your characters and waste a lot of resources, but we'll explain those on the next videos. But for the most part, it's a pretty cheap collector. As a free-to-play player, you will be able to collect all units, even if you don't reroll, even if you are just chilling. I don't play every day. most days, but I skip at least 1 or 2 per week on the Korean version because I don't care about the Korean version. And I have every single unit in the game. Not only I have every single unit in the game, I have a lot of 4-star characters and I have a lot of 5-star units as well. So as a collector, for a free-to-play, it's pretty nice. When it comes to spenders, obviously it's going to be different because character level is based not only on your account level, but on the number of stars they have. So a 5-star character can have more levels, more stats, and be stronger than a 3-star character. So obviously for spenders, it's going to be easier to compete on PvP and raids. If you're looking to compete, just like any gacha, it's going to be pay to win. I don't think I need to explain this, but every gacha in the market, it's pay to win, doesn't matter which one it is, they are all pay to win. That said, for a free to play, you can expect to have at least your main team max out 5 stars, as you can see, and then other characters that you will be getting also 5 stars. I have a bunch of 5 stars, a bunch of 4 stars, a lot of dupes that I haven't used, etc. Dupes are kind of important long term because, as you can see, a lot of characters have an item floating around, right? You see, like for example, Renewa doesn't have anything right now. She has an item, but it's not unlocked because this is like the Inike, like the treasure system. This is favorite items. This is called asides, and this will change your character skills and make them obviously stronger. But you can only unlock these when you get to 5 stars, and then they have 3 different stages as well. But you need even more dupes to unlock. As you can see, I need 60 shards in order to go from Treasure Phase 2 to Treasure Phase 3 and a lot of gold. This makes your characters stronger, obviously, gives them a lot of stats, and change how the skills work. But this system doesn't exist in global yet, so you don't have to worry too much. It's a system that is in Korea right now to make characters stronger, to make characters that were underperforming better characters. Some characters even go from being useless to being actually really good when you unlock their sites, but that's only a few of them. So it's a nice system to make characters stronger, but you don't need it. Again, as a free-to-play, your main team, you will be able to get to 5 stars without any problems whatsoever. Obviously, for a Wells, they're going to have a way bigger roster at 5 stars, and they will be able to get better scores in raids because raids are elemental. Just like every game out there, endgame is building different elemental teams. But when it comes to collecting the characters, you will be able to collect all of them as a free-to-play. When it comes to the gacha, since I know this is also important, it's a 3% rate, which is pretty nice. And there is a lot of different banners and a lot of different currencies, and there is also a card banner. I will talk about this on a separate video. TLDR, I have never pulled on the card banner unless they gave me free currency, and I've cleared all the story in normal. I'm getting to the end on hard, and then hell mode I'm behind because, well, I started late the game, so I'm behind. It is what it is. You should not worry about the weapon gacha. It's for Wells only. You can ignore it and you will be able to clear everything. Don't worry too much about that. When it comes to the characters, like I was saying, it's a 3% gacha, but for the lowest rarity, the pilgrims, I think it's a 0.6, but I was checking earlier, somewhere else it said it's a 0.3. I'm not sure, because I am like 99% sure recently they increased the rates for these characters, for the pilgrims, and I think it's a 0.6% now. I don't know what global will be getting, if it's 0.3 or the 0.6. We'll see. Hopefully it's a 0.6, so it's easier to get these characters up early on. So that's for the what you can expect in terms of collection. What about competitive game modes, right? What can I expect if I want to be a tryhard in this game, Sefhi? There is mostly 2 or 3 game modes you can actually be a tryhard. First of all is PvP. PvP, there is no reason to be a competitive tryhard. I'm gonna be 100% honest. How PvP works is that you will get gems for every max rank you can achieve. Let's say you start at 1000 and you get to 800. Since you climb 200 ranks, you get gems based on that as a one-time reward. This only happens once. It's a one-time reward. So if you get pushed down and you climb back up to 800, you're not getting gems. This means you only do PvP the first 2 days of the season to try to get as high as possible, and then you can ignore it. You can do it for a daily because there is a daily mission to do 2 PvP matches, but you can completely ignore it and you are not missing anything. The rewards for PvP are even not that different. If we're talking about rewards for PvP, just for participating on a season, you're gonna be getting 500 gems, a multi is 1000. If you were to be getting 1 to 100, it's 1500. It's a multi and a half. Not that big of a difference for a big well or a free-to-play that's getting maybe 300 to 800, right? From 1000 to 1500. So PvP is nice. Just do it the first couple days of the season and you should be absolutely fine. I usually get 1 to 3 multis just for doing PvP matches on the first couple of days of the season. And then the rewards as an extra. As you saw, I am right now, my top was 400, right now I'm 900 something, don't care too much. The other game mode that is probably the one where it's going to be more tryhard if you wish to is the raids. Raids is a set of different bosses, I don't know how many bosses in total, but these bosses are always going to be a different element. So this season, it's all of them are plant, as you can see right there. I moved the game instead of the camera. As you can see, they are all plant or green element for this season. And then there's gonna be like, I think it's like 20 or 30 bosses in total, and then people can go and compete. Same thing as PvP. Just for participating, you're getting a multi. Regardless of your placement, if you do 1 damage to one boss, you get a multi for free for participating, which is nice. It incentivizes people to at least try. And then even on the highest rank, it's 1500. So there is not a big difference outside of this cosmetic right here, which most people don't care, right? It's not that big of a deal when it comes to the rank. Still, if you like participating, obviously this is going to be mostly for wealth. If we check right here, most of the people on the top of the leaderboards are people who are level 140, 150, some of their characters, which is the limit right now. And if you keep scrolling, you can check what characters they've used for all of the bosses and their compositions, which is pretty nice to see more or less what's meta right now for this raid, right? But again, both competitive game modes, just for participating, give you enough currency that you don't have to worry too much. There is a different type of raid that is not available right now, which is the Renewa raids. I don't know what the name will be on English, honestly, but we'll see. But same thing. You participate, you do it for yourself because it gives you rewards, but when it comes to the ranking itself, it's purely well worse without really giving you anything extra that's worth putting in the effort as a free-to-play to compete with people who will beat you just by spending money, right? Like every gacha out there. So that's basically a TLDR on what you can expect on the game in terms of free-to-play versus spenders, collecting, the competitive game modes, and the gacha system itself. Again, really nice gacha game, really nice collector, I like it a lot. Skins are cheap, the shop is cheap. I hope the prices are the same for global. That's the only thing I'm waiting for to see. If the prices are the same, we'll get all the skins, we'll get some packs. But enough ranting, we are live every single day. As usual, if you guys have any questions about the game, feel free to drop by or use the website. I start making reroll guides, the tier list, and everything else in the upcoming days. Any requests you guys might have, leave a comment down below. I'll see you later. Good luck with your pool dinner rates. I'll see you on the next one.